Hey guys, so out for another Century ride, and it's my birthday this month, and a birthday Century ride is in order. As you know, I like to do a Century ride at least once a month, but I don't know, maybe I'll tack something onto that and go longer, or I don't know. I absolutely love cycling. I love seeing the data, capturing the data, and I love the fact that I'm outdoors, I'm exercising and moving about all day. I want to talk to you about technology a little bit, because I think there's some real learning curves that we need to close those gaps. And what I mean by that is probably every one of you uses some type of bank app, whether it's a bank app directly from Bank of America or Wells Fargo or whatever bank you use to do that transaction, or to some of those third-party ones that have been popping up like Chime and PayPal and stuff like that, to consolidate and utilize multiple different banks and transactions in one dashboard. But what we haven't evolved and been doing at all is medical records. And I keep harping on this because I use health apps. I use health apps on a daily basis with my Ultra Human Ring, my Garmin Connect, with my Garmin Forerunner watch, and obviously on this bike ride I have my Garmin Edge 840 and my Garmin Rally XE pedals and my Polar H10 heart rate monitor strap. So I've got a lot of devices that go to different dashboards, but can consolidate into one overall wellness app on my phone that could put everything together. And in spite of that, I'm still not 100% there, because you know what's missing is my medical records. And I can connect my labs and see my labs and even make appointments and do things like that, but my medical records does not capture my wellness stuff. So, and I feel that by and large we are not seeing people utilizing their medical records. Talk to 9 out of 10 people, not just patients, but let's talk to 9 out of 10 physicians and nurses and ask them, are you using your EHR app on your phone or at home on your desktop? And get what their answer is. And I'm a little bit concerned why it's taking so long to look at this data and use this data to motivate you to stay on top of your wellness checks, your labs, your medications, and to use what's now being embedded in some of these EHR apps with the AI to actually let you know that, you know, maybe it's time to get a checkup, especially when it's embedded into the remote patient monitoring apps, when they're monitoring like your blood pressure or your pulse ox and things like that. So I'm seeing that it's very much missing in that whole sector of applications that we use in our life. And when are we going to close that gap? We joke about it in the medical field, how much we hate all the different idiosyncrasies and nuances with our EHR when we have to document on patients, but we're not even using the communication and the interaction with patients at all, especially not to the level that banking apps are doing it. Let's do a comparison, and I'll whiteboard this later, but I want to do a comparison of encounter or a query on your bank app, and maybe even share some screens, and in comparison to what we should be doing with our medical record apps. Because I think what frustrates doctors and nurses the most about these medical record apps is they were created by people and are managed by people that are clueless and only have a superficial knowledge of what is necessary for capturing clinical data and how to monitor that clinical data. They just don't know. Especially in my world of case management, there is a huge gap of understanding because we integrate the benefits with our health plans and everything else. So that becomes even more complex. And I want to whiteboard that and show you and ask you, how do you feel that the future will be when we finally get to the point where we're utilizing our electronic health record app in the same cadence and consistency as we are doing with our bank app when it comes to notifications and response? And what if we took our health as seriously as we took our payday and took our paycheck and took all of that into consideration? So I'm gonna get going, guys. I'm gonna go fast. It's gonna get windy, but I will follow up with this in the next video. And thanks for watching my videos, and I'm happy that I'm another year older and I can still ride 100 miles. I'll talk to you later.